Have you ever wondered what truly transpired during the Salem Witch Trials, an event shrouded in mystery and terror? In the dawn of the 17th century, nestled within the New England region, a small village by the name of Salem was gripped by an inexplicable fear. In the year of 1692, this fear manifested as a hysteria that swept through the homes and hearts of the villagers like a relentless, chilling wind, a hysteria that led to the infamous Salem Witch Trials. The Salem Witch Trials, a series of hearings and prosecutions, were a dark testament to the power of fear and superstition. It was during these trials that 20 innocent souls were condemned to the gallows, their lives snuffed out under the weight of baseless accusations and fervent paranoia. Yet, one cannot help but question what truly drove this frenzy of witch hunting. But was there something more sinister at play? Let's delve into the secrets of Salem. It all began in a seemingly ordinary village, with extraordinary events soon to unfold. In the quiet settlement of Salem, Massachusetts, the year was 1692. This was a time of simplicity, yet beneath the surface, an insidious wave of fear was about to sweep across the community. In this tranquil setting, two young girls, Betty Paris and Abigail Williams, began exhibiting bizarre and inexplicable behavior. They convulsed, screamed, and contorted their bodies in ways that defied reason. The village doctor, confounded by their symptoms, delivered a chilling diagnosis: witchcraft. This declaration sparked an immediate and rampant spread of accusations. Neighbor turned against neighbor, friend against friend, in a frenzied attempt to purge the perceived evil among them. In this climate of fear and suspicion, the mere suggestion of witchcraft was enough to ignite the flame of hysteria. The seed of panic was sown, and Salem was about to reap its dreadful harvest. In the grip of fear, the villagers sought justice, or perhaps revenge. As paranoia reached fever pitch in Salem, the legal machinery creaked into action. The village court, a grim stage for the unfolding drama, became the epicenter of the trials. The court's role was crucial, yet its operation was marred by credulous acceptance of questionable evidence. One such evidence was spectral evidence, a controversial form of testimony based on dreams and visions. This type of evidence, though subjective and intangible, was given alarming weight in the courtroom. It was the spectral evidence that often tipped the scales against the accused, condemning them with tales of apparitions and spectral visitations. Another notorious aspect was the touch test. This was a bizarre practice where the afflicted person in the throes of a fit would be touched by the accused. If the fit ceased, it was seen as a sign of guilt. An eerie silence would fall over the courtroom, punctuated only by gasps of horror or relief. Among the first to face these harrowing trials was Bridget Bishop. A woman known for her flamboyant dress and outspoken demeanor, Bishop was an easy target for the fearful villagers. Despite her vehement protests of innocence, she was found guilty and sentenced to death. As the gallows claimed its first victim, the trials showed no sign of slowing. But what if there was another force at work, hidden behind the veneer of witchcraft? Let's delve into the theories that attempt to illuminate the dark corners of the Salem Witch Trials. Firstly, ergotism, a theory that has caused quite a stir. Ergotism is a severe reaction to the ingestion of ergot, a fungus that can infest rye, a staple in the diet of 17th century Salem. Symptoms include hallucinations, convulsions, and the sensation of insects crawling on the skin. Sound familiar? It does bear a striking resemblance to the symptoms recounted in the witch trials. However, this theory, while fascinating, has its critics who point out that ergotism usually results in gangrene, a symptom notably absent from the Salem records. Now let's consider the psychological angle, the theory of mass hysteria, a phenomenon where a group of people manifest similar physical symptoms due to a psychological disturbance. Salem was a small, isolated community ripe for such an event. The pressures of life on the edge of the wilderness, coupled with religious fervor, could have ignited a wildfire of shared delusions. But it wasn't just psychological and biological factors at play. The political and religious tensions of the time were palpable. Salem was a cauldron of simmering disputes, with the heat turned up by the threat of Native American attacks and the recent smallpox epidemic. This atmosphere of fear and uncertainty could have set the stage for the trials, providing a convenient scapegoat for society's woes. Lastly, we cannot overlook the role of personal vendettas and property disputes. Accusations of witchcraft were often directed towards those on the outskirts of society, or those embroiled in land disputes. This theory suggests that the trials may have been a convenient way to settle scores or grab land. As we peel back the layers of fear and superstition, a complex picture of Salem emerges. The Salem witch trials were not simply a case of mass witch hunting, but a complex interplay of social, political, and psychological factors. The truth, it seems, is often stranger than the myths. In the wake of the trials, Salem was forever changed. The town, once consumed by fear and superstition, was now forced to confront the stark reality of its actions. As the frenzy dissipated, the townsfolk were left with a haunting legacy, a stark reminder of a time when fear overpowered reason. In the years that followed, apologies were made. Some families received restitution, and the legal system was forced to re-evaluate its practices. The trials had exposed a deep flaw in the justice system, the reliance on spectral evidence or testimony about dreams and visions. This led to a significant transformation in the legal procedures, pushing towards evidence-based trials. But the echo of the Salem witch trials stretched far beyond the town's borders, weaving itself into the fabric of popular culture. The trials have been immortalized in literature, film, and television, often used as a metaphor for situations where hysteria and fear override logic and justice. Yet despite their place in popular culture, the trials are more than just a historical footnote. They serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of mass hysteria and the devastating consequences of a justice system gone awry. The Salem witch trials, a chilling chapter in history, continues to fascinate and bewilder us to this day. They serve as a poignant reminder that truth and justice must always prevail over fear and superstition.